Welcome back and a very good afternoon. You're watching Times Now Live with me, Siddharth Talia. Let's in fact take you immediately through to a reaction that's come in from the Indian dressing room. None other than Mohammed Shami, who's thanked the Indian Prime Minister for paying all the Indian cricket players a visit after yesterday's game. He said, unfortunately, yesterday was not our day. I would like to thank all Indians for supporting our team and me throughout the tournament. Thankful to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for specially coming to the dressing room and raising our spirits. We will bounce back. So those are the words coming from Mohammed Shami, who was, of course, being embraced by the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, yesterday. Ravindra Jadeja had also put out a message on the social media earlier talking about the Prime Minister's visit to the Indian dressing room to basically speak to Indian cricket players immediately after the defeat yesterday in the World Cup final to Australia. The Prime Minister himself had put out a message on the social media platform X saying that India is proud of the performance that its team has put out on the field through the entire World Cup. Remember that the only game that India lost during this World Cup was the World Cup final. They won 10 successive matches in the build-up to the final that took place yesterday in Ahmedabad. The image that you see on your screens is quite evocative. Also, of course, it comes in the backdrop of a lot of trolling that Mohammed Shami had been subjected to and the kind of political messages that had been put out by certain members of the India alliance as well that put a political spin around his performance, especially in the semi-final against New Zealand. So there, of course, is that picture of Prime Minister Narendra Modi embracing Mohammed Shami. He's also known to have, of course, greeted all of the Indian players in the dressing room after yesterday's game. Let me go across to Aishwarya for more on this. Aishwarya, take us through that image, a very evocative image of the Prime Minister congratulating Mohammed Shami after the World Cup.
Well, those were emotional moments for the Indian cricket team as India yesterday lost against Australia. And we all saw those visuals of Mohammed Shami, Siraj, Rohit Sharma down on tears. And while they went inside the dressing room, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was handling the trophy to the Australian side. But soon after that, Prime Minister walked inside the dressing room, the emotional dressing room that each and everyone knew that those were the heartbreak, but the Prime Minister consoling those Indian players as they headed to the dressing room. Certainly, it is Prime Minister. We have seen earlier as well during the Asian Games, during the Olympic Games.
That's correct.
Prime Minister used to meet the sports personalities and the athletes as well, and certainly had given motivation to them that it's a win or loss. It's at last it's a sports game. And certainly those are the visuals of Mohammed Shami as well, where Prime Minister is consoling him after the loss.
That's right, and he also congratulated all the players. Let's not forget that of the 11 games that India played in the World Cup, we won 10 of them. Mohammed Shami was, of course, the leading wicket taker. He's also India's leading wicket taker in all World Cups put together. We're also opening up our platform now for calls. We'd like to hear from our viewers as well about what they think about this wonderful gesture on the part of the Prime Minister. We'll come back to this in just a short while. But